47 years ago, on these very steps, Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. His dream seems a simple one: justice, freedom, and the promise that all men are created equal, the promise that is America for all of her citizens. That day, 200,000 people, black and white, young and old, gathered across the National Mall to hear King's words. Many had run out of faith. Many had struggled just to arrive. More had lost hope. He knew that this was the day to inspire change. This was the day the American people would rise above politics, rise above the hate, and rise to the occasion. Martin Luther King was born into a time of fierce segregation. But while parts of the country thought strictly in black and white, King only saw right and wrong. From the beginning, he recognized America as an idea, one that could only succeed if everyone was given a seat at the counter. And just like the founding fathers before him, King knew the fight for freedom was not easy. The fight for equality was even harder. Even though the fight was exhausting, the obstacles demoralizing, King firmly stood by his beliefs. In the process of gaining our rightful place, he said, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Love, he preached, was the only way to invoke real change. Martin Luther King held strong while his detractors spewed hate, but he had the truth on his side. When he was told to be patient, he said, I have too little time. When jailed for protesting nonviolently, he wrote, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The greatness of Martin Luther King was the faith that he had in the American people. We, as citizens, must all carry Martin Luther King's dream in all of our hearts today. The dream is not completed. It's an ongoing struggle, one that all Americans should always be willing to undertake. Like Martin Luther King, we're all born knowing the truth, and the truth will set us free. On August 28, 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King awoke our nation's collective consciousness. His message, look at the content of a man's character, not the color of his skin. His dream is the American dream. Today, August 28th, 2010, we stand here in this same hallowed ground with our heads held high and our hearts open. We all have the inalienable rights to live in a country with liberty and justice for all.
This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring, and if America is to be a great nation, this must become true.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce to you someone that I met just recently in the last 6 months and has become a good friend. A woman whose past, her family's past, has been washed in blood. Her father and her uncle were both killed for standing for what is right. A woman who is at risk for standing today, for saying what she believes. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Alveda King.
popularity and influence to bring us together to focus not on an election or a political cause, but to focus on honor and on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. God bless you, Glenn. Hallelujah. And God bless the Special Operations Warriors Foundation. Hallelujah. Now listen, thank you. But listen, I want to introduce to you now Catherine Davis, Dave Gardner, Doc Ed Holliday, Pastor Stephen Broden, Pastor Walter Hoy and his wife Lori Hoy, Bishop Harry Jackson, Pastor Dean Nelson, and vocalist Angelica Tucker and Vanessa Mitchell. Come on down, my friends. Come on down. Don't worry, we are not all having 10-minute speeches. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Let me ask you this real quick. How many of us know that we need to rebuild America? And we need unity to do that, right? Please welcome Miss Angelica Tucker.
The crash of the world falling all around me, the piercing of screams, the shouts to the skies where buildings used to be. Am I all alone? Can the world hear my cry? This doesn't look like home. We must rebuild our lives, rebuild our strength, rebuild our hearts, not just the buildings that were lost. We must rebuild our minds and rebuild our spirits, leave all the brokenness behind. We must rebuild our hope, rebuild our love, rebuild our faith, rebuild. We must rebuild the change, rebuild the things we lost, our lives rebuild. So many are gone, there must be a reason for me still being here. I'm resilient and strong, but that doesn't mean that I don't still feel fear. Oh, no, but I'm not alone, and the world hears our cry. Oh, and it's not just our homes. We must rebuild our lives, rebuild our strength, rebuild our hearts, not just the buildings that were lost. We must rebuild our minds and rebuild our spirits, leave all the brokenness behind.